I'm alive. Hello. Hello. How's it going? I've been wanting to make this video for a while. And seeing as it is Friday night and the wife's got visitors downstairs, I thought I'd get it out the road. Out the road makes it sound like a bad video. It really isn't. Yeah, I want to talk about my year basically, because it's been a terrible year in many respects, but also the most important thing that ever happened to me, or has happened to me in life so far, happened this year. Uh, 2018. Oh, by the way, enjoy your Friday night, guys. Oosh. 2017, sorry, was a horrible year. Everything was going tits up, and we lost my father-in-law, who was a big part of our life, and that was horrible. We lost on the same week. We lost my one of my favourite aunties, who I was really close to, and that was just sucked. Funerals were horrible. I mean, the repercussions of that in my psyche and my sort of subconscious, unconscious has just been really weird, and like how I view death and stuff's changed dramatically over the past like year and a bit. Anyway, this year thought it was going to get better. Moved house and new job and stuff, and it was really cool. Job's not working out. I'm not enjoying it. The new house has taken a long time to take shape. I mean, I'm not moaning per se because like I've got a roof over my head and a job. That's a lot better than some people. But yeah, and then my uncle died of cancer, and one of my very very best and closest friends lost his wife at the tender age of 29 to cancer as well, which was just I think one of the most unfair and awful things I've ever been not part of but witness to in my life, and like in that close, and it was just fucking horrible. Very very unfair, and he's done so well to keep him and his son grounded and sort of sane. I think is the right word. Really horrible, really horrible. But on to the good news. This year the adoption of my daughter finally went through, and after 4 long years of fight, not so much fighting, but just like pushing it to get put through court and put through court and put through court. Yeah, and on the 7th of the 11th, we went to court. Me and the wife sat in front of the judge, and he sat and looked over the petition, or what you want to call it, the paperwork, for a good 50 minutes. It felt like it was an entire year. And then he went, "Yeah, I'm happy to grant this adoption." And we were like, "Way!" So yeah, I think I just want to make a video noting that, because the way my daughter came at me, she's my wife's youngest biological daughter. And if you've seen like a lot of my earlier videos, that to be fair I might have deleted by now. I'm not sure. Things didn't go well when she was born at 24 weeks. Death's door. My stepchild didn't take it very well. And this isn't a blame game, so if she ends up, or if you end up watching this, it's not a blame game, darling. Just that's what happens. You were young. But me and the wife, the options were she goes into care and disappears from our lives, or we take her on as our own. And we did. But then social work and the social services kind of buried our case, because we have to go through them. And after like a year, we just didn't hear anything. We eventually got back in contact with them. Turns out the adoption had been put to a different department. Uh-oh, I think she's coming. Put it to a different department, and it had been buried. And it was just horrible. No, it's not horrible. Sorry. Said friend has just messaged. How do you know your wife's friend is Moni? What? Oh no, that's a completely unrelated message. Right, back on track. Aye, they buried the case. They went to a different department. They put it to the bottom of a big pile of cases, and it just got lost. So we got it put to the forefront again, and then we started getting regular visits from social workers and stuff. Blah 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 blah. It's cut to 4 years later. She's healthy. All the illnesses she suffered as a baby, she's past all that. She's still very small for her age, but she's healthy and she's happy, and she's totally my child in every single way that matters. And just getting the adoption over the finish line was a real hassle and a pain in the arse. We eventually got a final court date for it to go through, and I was at said friend's wife's funeral that day, and we never heard anything. And then we emailed the solicitor, and it turned out that the court appointed solicitor had filed the paperwork in the wrong format. I'm assuming it just wasn't something he was happy with, the judge. and it was put back another month. So we went in a month. This time he says, "Look, I'd really like you to be in the room," because it's really rare for grandparents. Well, my wife is a grandparent, but me through marriage. It's really weird. It's really rare for a grandparent or grandparents to be granted adoption when, unless there's a extenuating circumstances, normally it just kind of give you a residency order or parental rights and they just leave it at that. But because of the way certain family members on the biological mum's side, basically that was one of the things that pushed us to get the adoption. They weren't accepting the situation as it was, and it was going to cause future problems for my kid, both mentally and like socially. So we wanted that adoption there, so we could say, yeah, this is who you are. You belong to us. This is your secure home, your secure base. Oh, and people got to just ignore the talking in the background. And we wanted to give her a stable, steady home, and it wasn't about ownership or even just having. I don't know. It wasn't just like, oh, I want her to have my last name. And it was about just giving her the best, secure, safe life she could have as a child. And I think the judge, the first judge, had been that it said this isn't the right format. It turns out he was kind of, because of this whole grandparents not normally getting adoptions approved, and he was a sort of standing judge for the area because the other judge was away on leave, and I think he didn't want to make such a sort of out of the normal decision for it not being his court, and so he just went, oh, it's not the right format, I can't do this. Anyway, the judge sat us down, we were in his room, and it was really, I mean, I've never been in court before. I did jury duty once, but I've never been in court. I've never been a witness. I've never been a defendant. I've just never been in court. And it was really stuffy, and no one was smiling and joking. And we were like, "This is really serious." Whoa. Sat down. He sat, and everyone's my lord, and it's like, okay. And he just sat and perused, and then he says, "Well, what's with the name change?" And we explained, and he said, "And how did you get on with the mother, the biological mother?" And we explained that things are amicable. She's in our lives, she sees our daughter. Our biological daughter, all that kind of stuff. Pardon me. And then he just went, "Well, I'm happy to approve this." Under his paper, gave us a smile, and we walked out the room. It was like, "Is that it? Is it finally over?" Oh, by the way, I'm in my bedroom next to the computer. Normally, I try and give myself a background to sit up, but I just couldn't be bothered. Yeah. So, because she's always felt like my kid, she came home from hospital, straight to us. My wife was with her for the word go. For the day she was born until the day she came out of hospital, she was there every single day. And even though we discussed it quite aggressively for 2 weeks when we were given the choice, we kind of felt it made its own decision. At the end of the day, we argued about could we do it. We were just newly married. We'd been married like, what, a couple of months? And we argued, what's it going to be like? We're in a new relationship. We're in a new marriage. Are we going to be able to take this on? Is it going to do? How's it going to be for us? And how are we going to fit into our lives? And she's in her 40s and I'm in my late 30s. How's that going to work? But at the end of the day, the kid needed us, and the kind of decision made itself. We didn't. It just, I don't know how to explain it. It was just our duty to care for this little child. We couldn't put her into a system that so many kids get swallowed into and then get chewed up and spat out the other end. It just wasn't. We weren't going to do it. Getting a bit emotional. But the funny thing was, when we got her home, she felt like she was ours. It didn't feel weird. Dealing with some of the family was weird. Even the ones who were supporting us, still, like when I'd call her my daughter, you'd still see them go, and you'd meet friends and other family members who they'd avoid the subject. They'd be like, oh, I'd say, oh, she's got the kids did dead well. She did it, and they'd be like, oh, she's right. Anyway, and you'd be like, why don't they want to talk about this? Are they so uncomfortable with it? Because it felt so normal to me. She felt like mine's for the word go. So when the adoption calmed down, when we stopped hearing about it and stuff, it kind of became life's kind of normal. There's no reason for this. But then something would flare up, and a family member would get pissed off, and we'd hear through the grapevine that things have been said, and I was like, I don't want my child to go to school, and then have some other kid in our class go, he's not your real dad, or that's not your real mum, or. It's going to happen anyway because kids are kids, but every opportunity to minimalise that damage or that possible, weird interaction she might have in future about this. I mean, she knows she's adopted. She knows that Tegan's her biological mum, all that kind of stuff. But we just felt like it was a sort of anything we can do to give her an easy life. And that was one of them. I didn't want her feeling shit about anything or don't want to feel shit about in our future life. It's weird when you become a parent because you start thinking about scenarios now that might never happen, but 20 years from now, like, oh my god, I better no make off the cuff jokes about gay or whatever. Not that I would anyway. Like I'm no bigoted or racist in any way, but you know how you can just make sort of off the cuff jokes and sometimes, or you say things that you demean as something, or there's no malice in it, but kids hear these kind of things, and so I'm thinking I better not say that now in case 20 years time or whatever, 11, 12 years time she realizes she's gay and then she's feared to come to me because of one comment or two comments I made years ago. It's really weird. You start really questioning everything you do. Having a kid's fundamentally changes you. Hopefully it's for the better. I think it has me anyway. But yeah, so I just wanted to denote the fact that I became a legal father on the 7th to 11th. It's a video I want to make. I'm getting a tattoo about it. I'm so over the moon and stuff. But I wanted to do a video about it, and it was really, like, I've been as sick as a dog for like weeks, and so's the wife. And life's been kind of stressful, so it's not really been something I've been able to do. But like I said, the wife's got a friend downstairs. Kids are playing away, and I've got this moment to myself. So, I'm also sweating like a bitch. Yeah, here we go. I want to do more live streaming because I enjoy it. Normally, I mean, this isn't really a subject. I mean, for the two folk watching, if you want to ask questions, you could. But I like the back and forth of live streaming, and I kind of would really have liked to do more of it. So I'm going to think about investing in a decent camera and stuff, and being like 7.2 billion Mr. Beardy guy with a cap on and a headset on, talking about things that he knows nothing about on the internet. Whatever, each their own, I suppose. But yeah, everything I do for that is like everything I live and breathe now is for that girl, and we've got a really close relationship. She comes into bed in the morning, hunkers her way between me and my wife, and then that's it. And then at night it's kisses and cuddles and stories before bed. It's a bit fairy tale-ish. We've been dead lucky as well. She's such a well-behaved kid. Her health issues. She was. I mean, I'll tell you. I mean, while we're here, I'll tell you what happened when she was in hospital. Born at 24 weeks, and the doctor said, "Look, she's really premature. We'll do what we can." And after a week, things or maybe a couple of weeks, things seem to get better. But then they said she's got a infection in her gut. Can't remember what it's called now. No, I can't remember. But it's something that premature babies often suffer with. And they said that the wife was at hospital. I'd been working at the time, I think, or I was at college maybe. And the wife phoned and says, right, I've spoke to the doctors. The infection's so bad. If anyone wants to say goodbye, they have to come this weekend because she's not going to last much longer. And I was like, oh, fuck. And I didn't care to tell my stepkids because, that's just a horrible thing to tell them. So what I decided to do was take them out in the piss. One of them couldn't go. The other one could. So I took her out in the piss and had a really good night. Next day I said, right, we'll go to the hospital because of this. And obviously tears and stuff. So I went up and we spent a bit of time there. And then the weekend passed. And the Monday came. And the Tuesday came. And the Wednesday. And the Thursday. And the Friday. And the following weekend, one of the doctors essentially came through and went, you know that infection? It's getting better. And we were like, what? So what does that mean? And they said, well, fingers crossed. She's fought it and she's winning the battle. And then within a sort of month, she was... And at this point, the whole way through this 3 months she was in hospital, or maybe the first 2, she had wires coming out her hands, her feet. They were taking blood out her head, and she was getting transfusions. They were tubed up her nose to feed her. I mean, Christ, she had diarrhea one time, and it burnt her skin, her thin skin, so badly they had to put her in a sort of special, like, what do you call them? Incubator, with like shading and ultraviolet lights to try and heal her skin. It was horrible. It was so horrible to watch. But retrospectively, also the greatest miracle I've ever seen. This tiny little baby that was literally, she was no bigger, she was smaller than this. Smaller than that. She was literally that size. This little baby fight its way back to fucking life. It was unbelievable. And I genuinely believe it was at least, and this is obviously just me, but 50% it was the love and attention my wife gave her. She was there every day, talking to her, sitting knitting. She never left her side. She only left her side to sleep and eat in those first 2 months, because then she moved to a different hospital. This was when she was off the air and she was in a wee incubator and you couldn't touch her. I mean, she was like 4 months before I even got to hold her. And she cried. I've got photos, it's weird. But yeah, so it's the best thing I've ever done in my life, and it was one of the happiest moments of my life. And I just wanted to talk about it, because, well, there's plenty of folk talking about nonsense on the internet, so why not me, yeah? Yeah. There we go. That was just good to get out there, I think. So like I said, tough couple of years, but when she was first born and got over that sickness and came out of the hospital, I always said to the wife, we used up every bit of good luck we had to get her past that, and I still believe that. So if something shit happens now, it might piss me off, but I'm like, but at least, at least she's okay. At least we didn't have to go to a baby's funeral, because that would have been the worst thing ever. The worst thing ever. Pardon me. So yeah, there we go. Hi. I'll see you later. Hey.